Now from the Coastal Empire and Low Country studios of WJCL News. WJCL News at 6, working for you.
Every day, millions of Americans turn to smartphones and tablets to stay connected. But what happens when the connectivity doesn't stop when you're a political leader tasked with making million-dollar decisions? Good evening, I'm Kevin Holmes.
And I'm Jennifer Andrews. Well, it is a trend our cameras caught on tape for months. Your elected officials sending texts, checking social media and emails while presentations and discussions took place. WJCL's Nick Notario is working for you tonight to find out why these local politicians can't put down their devices.
Well, studies show that more than half of Americans use these smart devices. In fact, we want you to turn to yours right now. Use the hashtag WJCLinvestigates and tell us what you think of this report. And while devices make life more convenient, what happens when important decisions are on the line and politicians can't seem to put them down?
A walk around downtown Savannah, and this resolute structure stands out not only for its appearance but sound. For more than 100 years, Savannah's political leaders have gathered under the Golden Dome of its City Hall. But what happens when this early 20th century structure is met with 21st century technology? Each alderman is equipped with a city-issued tablet meant to keep them in touch with Savannahans and receive information regarding the city business. But during city council meetings since November, we've seen each one using these devices to look at things multiple times unrelated to what's being discussed. From presentations on a near $60 million baseball stadium, Georgia's legislative session, and changes to city ordinances, the glow of these electronics light up the room. It's not uncommon to see an alderman sending a text, looking at stocks, or even uploading photos to Facebook numerous times during the meeting. We took what we saw to taxpayers,
Are you serious?
played them a video,
They're definitely not doing their job.
and asked what they thought of city council's behavior.
If I'm looking at an elected official looking at, uploading Christmas trees, it's like, what are you doing? You're not doing your job. I'm paying taxes for what again?
We all are doing it, and that's just the way the world is, operates in the world with technology now.
I can't honestly say it's too shocking because we live in a society where it's all about our phones and less interaction, person to person.
You can't be fully engaged. They don't even let you do that in school.
After hearing these concerns, WJCL went to City Council to ask each member if they thought it was a problem.
Our cameras have caught different aldermen constantly looking at Facebook, checking emails unrelated to what's going on. Do you think that's acceptable conduct to be going on in these workshop meetings?
On the spot, I would have to say it's really not very courteous, and it's impolite to the speaker, and certainly I could not justify that.
Alderwoman Carol Bell was the only Savannah alderman who saw this distraction as a problem.
I actually have a page, and this is Alderman Van Johnson, which people are glad to, and they respond to me all day long. The fact of the matter is we're very busy people. We have a lot of work to be able to do. We have to be able to do it all in the same period of time. I see no problem in being able to conduct the work that we need to be able to conduct.
I'm sure this is widespread, so this is not an issue, I don't think.
But if it's not something that directly impacts my district, I don't think that it's necessary for somebody to tell me, oh no, you have to listen to this, when it may have absolutely no relevance to my district whatsoever.
I am looking at an email. That's as far as I go.
Based on our time at City Council, Alderman Tony Thomas is frequently using his smartphone during the meeting. And when we questioned his use and looking at things unrelated to what's being discussed, he turned his attention on us.
Well, I'm not an elected official. You're representing...
But you are violating state law by texting while you're driving a vehicle.
But do you think it's a problem
now,
that
if you want me to send somebody to follow you and take pictures of you while you're violating state law, I'll be glad to do that.
Eventually, Thomas answered our questions about his smartphone use.
Looking at photos, setting up lunch appointments, is that appropriate conduct for an alderman during these council workshop meetings?
I think it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
This was a trend we didn't just find in Savannah, but our cameras caught other politicians also using these devices. In fact, just a couple weeks ago here at Statesboro City Hall, we caught politicians doing something very similar.
It happened during the public comment portion when a Statesboro city councilor pulled out their smartphone and could be seen sending numerous text messages. Afterwards, we caught up with Statesboro Mayor Jan Moore, who we didn't see looking at a device. what she thought of this behavior.
I am certainly not going to comment on the conduct of a councilman in the meeting. I think it's at everyone's own discretion as to what they feel is best practice.
Moore says using a smart device to look at unrelated materials can be a problem, which is why she says the state should give them some kind of direction.
It is an issue. Are you operating out of the sunshine by using your cell phones and your tablets during meetings? And I don't know, frankly, that's been determined one way or the other. I don't know if there's any concrete advice that we've been given.
But what we discovered didn't surprise Armstrong Atlantic Assistant Professor Dr. Elizabeth Denway-Akola. We played a video to her of what we saw leaders doing.
He's typing an email, typing a note.
While she says it may look distracting, it's nothing abnormal from what many of us do every day. In fact, Denway-Akola says as technology improves, it puts more pressure on presenters to come up with engaging material.
That's a challenge to the presenter to keep your information captivating enough and to keep enough information in your presentation that people won't have time to do that.
But when it comes to getting things done under this dome, some would like to see their elected officials only use these devices for city business.
Everybody doesn't make big decisions, okay? You're not on a date. You're not outside, walking around just waiting for the bus. You're making decisions for the people.
Right now, there are no rules in Savannah or Statesboro against leaders looking at unrelated material. We asked Savannah's alderman if this should be changed, and only one. Alderwoman Carol Bell told us they should consider a policy change. We also tried to talk with Savannah Alderman Tom Bordeaux and Mary Osborne, but both declined to comment. We also reached out to Savannah Mayor Edna Jackson, but our emails weren't returned. However, she did make a comment last week in City Council Workshop about our series.
We welcome media talking about the business of the city. And we may disagree with you sometimes, but I've sat on this council for 15 years and never have we had the invasion of anything of that magnitude.
Now, we also discovered this is not a local problem. We talked with state leaders about what we had discovered, and they said they're also seeing it up in Atlanta as well. Now, we want to know what you think about this. Join us right now on social media. Use the hashtag WJCLinvestigates or go to our Facebook page and weigh in.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
You're welcome.
All right, Nick's investigative series, Do I Have Your Attention, continues tomorrow.
He looks into other city councils that use these smart devices and what they've put in place to prevent them from becoming distractions. Make sure you tune in to WJCL News at 6 tomorrow for Do I Have Your Attention, Part 2. Tomorrow